Starbucks cup one thing because it has like the little mermaid, right? Yeah. And it kept coming in for the mermaid's close up.
Yeah. Well, we're sponsored by the Mermaid that episode. We'll just jump right into it. I'll add the intros after. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sex Actually podcast. Your host, Dave Neal, with Tasha, Courtney, and Courtney Scheurerman.
Woo!
Look at that.
Double Courtney.
Double Courtney.
Oh, wait. You're Courtney?
Courtney is my last name.
Oh, yeah. Spelled the same way? Court anyway?
You got it.
Look,
I've never heard that as a last name.
Really? Yeah, I mean, that's like Courtney is probably the only name that I can remember when I meet someone like face to face. I'm just one of those people that's like in one ear, right out the other. And like, but Courtney, I always remember. I'm like, oh, I got you. Courtney.
Gotcha.
Now, so we were talking about Todd Dorm earlier. He's been a past guest a bunch. He's the reason we met because you were on his show. We both did his show in Redondo. One of those, that little black box theater.
Yes.
The little like nowhere, no microphone type of show. Which is like, this is one step.
That is the first time. I was trying to figure out where we had first. Yeah.
You had no idea
that
if you
was a good show, actually.
I liked it.
Wait,
did you do the show that the mic didn't work and you just had to kind of yell at the audience?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've done that a couple times. I don't remember if that was. Had you done it?
A few
more
times.
Than once?
I think once the mic was like, it was just one of those like, the sound was so bad you just kind of drop it and just talk to people.
Yeah.
It's funny
easier than dealing with like an in and out mic where everybody's going to miss your punchline.
It's like, you don't even know what I'm saying. So it really forces you to be like Shakespearean and just like really enunciate and things like that.
Well, wait, there was one time I did it and I did like a Shakespeare monologue.
Oh, and your stand-up.
And stand-up.
Okay, I saw that one.
Okay,
did you see that one?
No, I missed that.
The audience doesn't give a shit which Shakespearean monologue. We wanted you to recite that monologue now, if you didn't mind. So, where are you coming from? You're originally from where?
I'm originally from Los Angeles.
Wow, you're like a unicorn.
I know.
Do you get that response from people every time?
I do. Actually, that's funny. That's why. Do you know Tiffany Haddish? That's why she's
not personally, but she's
the Black Unicorn. She's from LA as well, and I think that's kind of where that derived from for her. That she was an actual unicorn.
How do you, I mean? And I know you don't have any other identity, but coming from LA, how do you relate to like most people East Coast, Midwest? It's so different. Like your high schools, you can just walk around outdoors. Like you have, it sounds like you guys don't understand. Like in New England, you're like in a prison.
Yeah. That sounds horrible.
It is. It's really like if we go to for his baseball games and stuff, we like go to all these nice schools around town. I just can't believe it. These outdoor courtyards with like their solar panel pergolas and like
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you guys suffered so much.
Yeah, bar windows. I mean, you might be lucky playing baseball in April and there's like a sheet of ice.
Yeah.
Like, you just have a chance, but you guys have dry weather, which I'm told the skin's better in humidity. That's what I've been told.
Absolutely, 100% true.
And then you sweat your balls off 8 months out of the year on the East Coast because you can't
And then
breathe.
when it's like 49 degrees and you're like so ready for spring and you're like in your shorts, gym class outside, it's the greatest day ever.
So Tasha's from Kentucky, which climate not too different than New England. It's kind of humid.
4 seasons, hot, sticky summers.
What part of Los Angeles are you from?
I'm from the Valley, West Hills.
West Hills. How far? Oh, Woodland Hills. Okay, yeah.
So it's like right near Calabasas.
Oh, nice.
My high school is like right on the cusp.
Your family's still here?
Yeah, my parents are still in the same house that I grew up in.
Do you still have your old bedroom?
I do.
Do you have like your vision boards and your teddy bears and your gold medals?
Yeah. Like things, it's so weird. Like things that I thought were like so cool.
Like if you met a guy and it's like third date, would you let him see the bedroom?
Oh yeah. I'm obnoxious about like you have to check this out just because I still like it's still like a trundle bed. My sister and I shared a room.
Okay.
Until we were about like 14. And it's got like little hearts carved into the wood. It's adorable.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
and do you have like do you have like your old notes still kind of stashed away in the bin somewhere?
And I'm a hoarder, so like.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like not crazy, but like I like sentimental things. Like I kept everything from high school, junior high. So every time I go to my parents' house, it's like I want to like take like a little.
Walk down memory lane.
Nostalgic.
Yeah.
I'm always just disappointed when I do that because it's like I don't know if most guys are like this, but just embarrassed by how horrible I was at communicating, and I was like everyone's friend, but like that if I couldn't go back and read notes that were sent to me or sent back.
Yeah.
Which is the scary part. Is I only have other people's notes. People have my notes. That's not a good. Have you ever thought about that? Like your notes are just floating around willy nilly.
Yeah, like love letters that you've written.
Any person under 25 has no idea what we're talking about.
I'm gonna say that most people like that stuff has just gotten thrown away by now. There might be a few people who like scrapbooked and saved some stuff.
Oh, I saved everything.
You saved everything?
I saved everything.
I had a box of notes.
I'm obnoxious about it. Like,
I feel like I probably saved everything, but my parents got rid of my room when I was gone, and it was actually I was sad for me. I was like, "Are you serious? You're giving my brother my room? That's not fair."
Oh well, it was for a brother. That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess he could use a little more space.
Yeah,
but none of that stuff. Nothing that used to be in my room exists anymore. Is all I can assume. I bet they threw everything away. I don't know. There might be a couple of boxes.
Just torch it.
Well, that's the thing. Like they say, even like for parents of like kindergarten age kids, it's like you can't save every finger painting.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, honey, this is really special, but like we'll pick like 5 for the scrapbook, and everything else that they bring home from preschool that they're so proud of, like garbage.
But that must be so much easier, like finger painting shit like that. Now every kid has a trophy for everything. So just the amount of metal and hardware that, like, if you're like 20 years old, or let's say you're a senior in high school, you probably have 75 pounds of trophies. That's all you get now.
If you play sports.
Not even.
Everyone gets a trophy.
You get a trophy or a medal or some sort of just like hardware that just shows that you existed at that. It's true. It's all out there. I mean, I one time in my life got the Sportsman of the Year trophy when I was like 9 or 10. And that shit was several layers high. But if you see like karate trophies, they're sitting on the ground. They're up here. They just add levels that don't mean anything. And as a kid, you think it means something, and then looking back, you're like, "Oh, that asshole just got a nicer trophy." Like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Your parents like put a trophy case in the basement, and then like periodically clean it out.
You know, my mom. My mom's good at. When they talk about Catholic guilt, like it's a real thing. Like my mom's really good at not acknowledging any of my success. So like I know it sounds sad, but that's such an LA thought. That's so sad. I couldn't imagine. You don't acknowledge success, and then because they don't want the kid to be content, or I don't know if it's just a subconscious thing.
You interpret it all wrong. Your mom's busy. She's got a bunch of other kids to worry about.
How many kids?
There's a lot.
How many kids are we talking?
I'm remarried. I got a 14-year-old
family.
brother. I got a 32-year-old sister, an 18-year-old brother.
But don't you think she has enough on her plate then to like, pat you on the back and make sure you're okay about your feelings?
God, how
Look, I'm not begging
That's just
for
like a very
compliments, but
it's kind
if
of
anyone
a
wants to go to my
selfish-
social media, you can. No, I mean, I'm telling you, as a child, you need like we talk about love languages.
But you're not a child anymore. You're an adult, and you still like this is part of our relationship.
Did you not get any love or encouragement as a child? Is that what we're talking about?
And it has affected him as an adult now.
Well,
That's
she
serious.
talks
That's
about me as an adult as if I should be like adults are fucked up. You say it like we should all be perfect.
We're all fucked up in one. I mean, I was actually going to comment and be like, I think I was encouraged too much. Like, my parents are the parents that like made the big trophy to be like, you still get one, like, even if I didn't win. Like,
I could use your parents now if you don't mind. I'm gonna go to Woodland Hills and be like, do you got any spare trophies?
They're bored. They definitely would.
I was hugged and all that, but a busy family naturally. Like I ran a marathon, 19, come home. My mom like didn't even say congrats or anything. And it's like
she didn't go.
No. I said you wanted.
My whole family would have been.
I like to completely stall the progress of the podcast. We're back.
I know
here,
we were
sorry.
like right in mid laughter, and you like ripped the rug out underneath us.
So you're saying that you have the same. So your issue is the opposite, that you've been hugged too much.
Oh yeah, I thought I was the queen of everything.
But is it an actual issue, or is it just like what? Like where are you at right now? What have you done to evaluate where you are as an adult?
Well, this morning when I was like cleaning my house and I was dusting off the Academy Award for Best Actress that my father gave me when I was like 11.
Was it real?
Yes.
Did he give you like a heavy, like a real?
It is actually like pound for pound and like the exact. I don't want to say it's like gold plated. It's gold plated. But I don't know. I'm not complaining. I had an amazing childhood, but I do think that, moderation in both.
Sure.
You know.
But how does that get you to where you are as a comedian? Hilarious, by the way. And you're an actress as well. Did I see you were on Carson Daly, or did your dad make that poster too?
No. I really was on that.
Okay, good. I was like, looking at your photos. I'm like, I don't know if your dad's proficient at Photoshop and he's just adding you into...
Oh, God. If he could Photoshop, he would do that. No, I was on Carson Daly. Actress first, and then started doing stand-up. Yeah.
Okay, so what made you make the leap from actress to comedian? Actor to comedian. I don't use actress. Actor to comedian.
Yes, thank you. That's my preference. I started doing. I went through the Groundlings and started doing that. And when I graduated from college and I came back, they had like added all these other levels, and they're like, give us $400 more a month, and it was like I had already gone through the program.
That they're like Scientology, where they add levels. Yeah, because they're like,
same with UCB. It's like all an upsell. Like you can't. They don't even have a water fountain at the new building on Sunset. They don't even have a water fountain. You have to go buy water.
But the good thing with Groundlings is they have an audition process, and it's a very prestigious. I mean, like UCB is great, but it's a puppy mill at this point.
Right.
Like there's everyone. But so you did the whole Groundlings.
Yeah, and then I kind of had attitude about it. I was like, I'm not gonna give you guys more money. I mean, I screwed myself, but I was just like, I'm gonna try taking these characters, that I had developed and been working on, and I can do that with stand up. I had no idea what I was doing.
Sure.
And
then was it humbling though to go into stand up, and then did you do the open mic circuit? And
no, I lied. I lied a lot.
Yeah. That's the first thing you have to do. How many years have you been doing it? How many does it matter? 5? 5.
Yeah. No, and then you start lying the other way, where you're like, no, I've only been doing it like 4.
Yeah.
And you're like 8 years in.
Because if you've done it too long, they're like, and that's as far as you've gotten.
Right. They're like,
there's a sweet spot to how long you've done it.
Right. So I kind of lied and said that I had been doing it longer. And I did like a bringer show, and I just invited everybody I knew. But that was like the first time in my life I had ever experienced stage fright.
Really?
Like I hadn't, because I started acting as a child.
So you've been prepared more with acting and even developing characters. You're more prepared, like because stand up you can
just more secure and like you know what you're doing. I feel like with stand up you're out there all by yourself, and when it's your first time, like that would be terrifying.
Yeah, like my body went into this. It felt this pain that I was like, it was like a high. Well, I mean,
where did it hurt? I don't mean to sound like a creep, but like where did you feel the pain? Because it's very specific. It can be like the throat or like the gut.
Chest.
Your chest.
Like
okay, so you felt like you were like being
We
hugged.
need a chakra chart right now, because that probably could like say a lot about us as people, like where you feel your like anxiety. I feel like throat and heart are very common. Yeah. So is gut though too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people feel sick in their gut.
Like an intuition. Yeah, that's a different feeling, but it can be anywhere depending on. I don't know. I don't remember where exactly I felt it. I was just, the amount of adrenaline.
Did you start in LA?
I did. I took a course in LA.
Who'd you take a course
I did Greg Dean. And here's the thing. It teaches you, do you know?
So Greg Dean used to be up in San Francisco, yeah?
Probably.
Okay.
He was like probably the Mark Maron.
So I started in LA, but when I went to school at Berkeley, and when I was there, I came over and he was teaching a class, and I like stood in the back. And I remember like listening to him and being like, I could do that. I mean, I had no idea what I was talking about.
He makes it very simple, like setup punch, like real structural, which is good, but it taught me one-liners. And again, not bad, but like I'm not like spent the last several years like rediscovering who I am, because like a one-liner is not who I am, but like I learned to write.
And that's also like very old school, right?
Can be. Or you can spin it. I mean, it definitely teaches you to write, but at the same time, I took his showcase. I moved back to New York right from the showcase, and I kind of did the same thing where I was like, I've just been doing stand-up in L.A. Who wants to book me? And I was like, I hadn't even experienced like a real bomb yet, because I had a good. I mean, most people have a pretty good set their first time.
Yeah, because all your friends are there.
Tasha was there. Not dating. She was with her boyfriend. I was going through a miserable breakup. No, I was actually
were you guys friends?
Yes.
Yeah, we were friends. That's when we first started like getting to know each other and first started hanging out. Was when he came to LA the first time, just for like that short. You were like here 4 months,
3 or 4 months, testing the waters, going through a miserable breakup, just like real. still, just because I wasn't there to kind of like see it die. It's almost like if not knowing, you know what I mean? It was like as soon as I was able to feel the.
But I don't know why you think you could just like move to LA for the summer and your girlfriend in New York is just going to be like, yeah, totally fine, babe.
No,
like,
it wasn't even like that. In the end, because I know Tasha's like scrubbing for info. In the end, it was more about me, and it was a personal journey, and I kind of had to go into my own desert, which like literally was LA. I drove across the country.
Yeah, but it's crazy that you're like saying like that your relationship just fell apart. Like, don't you think that you kind of made it fall apart?
Yeah, but
I feel like
this is like a little bit of a
therapy session. This is always how the podcast goes. Literally every episode turns into a therapy.
I'm comfortable with how it all went down.
But don't you think it's sort of like
he's comfortable because he has you now?
Well.
And
Thanks.
she hated Tasha because she saw a photo of Tasha and I, and she was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what are you gonna?"
Yeah, but it's interesting that I know this is totally off topic, but I just think it's a good time to call it out in you, and maybe you could just have like I don't know, some insight here. You, instead of just like saying this isn't working and having like the decisiveness to be like, this is not what I want right now, you moved across the country and let it fall apart. It's like you didn't want to have like ownership, the responsibility of being the person that like puts this bad relationship to rest. You came out and started hanging out with me. Not that you know, I was dating somebody else. It wasn't like that. But you know, you just abandoned that relationship, and then you put all the guilt on her because you say that, oh, she went to Hawaii with her ex-boyfriend, like she started like dating around, like fooling around with other guys while you were 3,000 miles away. It's just interesting that like instead of you kind of taking responsibility for thinking that like it wasn't a working relationship, you just you took a step back and let it fall apart.
For Courtney's sake here, let me just give you the spark notes because I know she's in the middle.
You're what happened?
This would be
Sorry,
a great
super awkward.
It'd be a great punk thing. Like we just get you real tight in between us.
I know, and then you guys like start
so Tasha,
shit,
you don't understand the real story. Like I decided to move to LA. And then this girl and I started dating, and because of the feelings,
like right before you moved.
Yeah, so then we tried to make it work.
Okay, so you'd already wanted to move.
And she didn't want to stop me from moving to LA because she's like, I don't want to be that. And in the end, I'm glad I did. I got to become friends with Tasha. We didn't consider dating. It wasn't anything like that. It was several years later, but it forced me to really like find love or what I thought it was, and then walk away from it and really find myself. And I know that's so cliche. I gotta find myself, but like I started doing stand up in the most miserable of settings, trying to make a long distance thing work as it's failing. So like I'm like on one end,
well, that's probably why you started, because you needed that outlet.
I had no fucks left to give. I mean, you really have to be either at a bottom or not care.
Think about what a different world you might live in right now if you had decided to stay for that relationship.
No, but even when she was dating me, she still planned to go visit her ex in Hawaii. So like, in hindsight, anyway. And then when I went back to New York, she like came to a show, and then she invited me to like this bar, and it turns out the bartender was her boyfriend, and she didn't let me know. And we had one of those New York fights where it's like, fuck, you know what? Fuck off. It wasn't even one of those like.
Did you never say that you were actually dating?
No, I was not like in a real relationship. I was the normal one. I could say love. She would have to say words like love. Like I love you, because she couldn't spell out LOVE. No. So I'm not taking credit for whatever issues she has. I bet she's working through them. She's a very nice person. All that. I'm comfortable.
Have you met this person?
No, I have no idea who he's talking about. I don't know any of his ex-girlfriends. I don't even know what they look like.
No, you do, because that one girl.
How long have you guys been together?
3 years.
She's cool with just not really knowing my history. I know her exes mainly because
I'm like, I know all of your exes. I know everything that's happened. I know exactly what they look like.
That way
I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
No.
I'm perfectly comfortable with my ignorance.
The truth is usually really better than
nice.
what's in my head.
I wish I was like that.
I mean, don't you want like some of her exes? Like one guy's like, he's not attractive. He's not attractive.
There's a few guys that aren't attractive.
I can say that too. I can say that too.
Which makes me wonder if she's dating me. And I'm like, maybe I'm not as attractive as I thought I was. Maybe my ego's not quite there.
I would say you definitely have an inflated ego just in general.
Did you just hit your
yeah.
On the audio.
You can play that back and turn it up a little bit if you want. I'm lucky I still have my front teeth.
That's me. That's my podcast voodoo doll, just like making you hit yourself with your microphone. Now, I don't know. I'd like to know Tasha's exes. Also, also she has this weird like way she communicates with some of them. With one guy still, like he'll text her like she was giving away some of these chairs and he wanted them, and I'm like, give them to him, but like just why does he have to want your chairs?
You say that we communicate. We're not friends, and we don't really communicate.
He watched the dog once. But
we are friends on Facebook. And he was a guy I dated in New York, and he recently moved to LA. So he reconnected on Facebook, like said, hey, what's up? I'm moving to LA. And we really haven't talked, we're not talking, but every once in a while I post something and he comments or likes or he'll send me a message. And he watched the dog while we were out of town,
which I wasn't okay with, but I let her do it just to be like, I'm not okay with this, but like, fuck it.
Also, babe, save me $300, please.
No. But that's my thing.
Right? You're so about it.
That's my
but also that was an opportunity for you to show. It was like a win-win because you got to show whatever. Even if you didn't feel that way. It was a good
where
step.
I come from, it's like I don't feel bad, but I know if the roles were reversed, she would be ape shit.
I would be ape shit. Yeah. I would never.
So I like to address it and be like, look,
double standard, but okay.
Yeah, total double standard. I'm like, look, I'm cool with it, but I need you to know you wouldn't be cool with it. She's going away to Miami this weekend with a couple
nice.
chicks, and I'm like, look, just so you know, I'm okay with it because that'll gives me some freedom and some time.
You're like, things. Please get away.
But at the same time, I'm like, wouldn't be cool if I did that. Wouldn't it be cool if I went away with dudes?
That's not true. Have you ever tried? No, it's not true.
I don't need.
That's kind of. Have you ever had friends that want to go with you to Miami? Babe, have you?
What's funny is Tasha barely knows this girl, but they have photos girls, friends. I'm like, you don't even know that chick.
We're very new friends. We've been sort of acquaintances for a couple years, and we bump into each other every once in a while. But lately, we've let
me get. Is she the one with the house? And you're like, I would love to go with you, new best friend.
No, I mean she's awesome. She's really sweet.
Courtney, let me just run this by you, just to make it simple. Instagram people, you have a good following. You have a pretty good following. Tasha, some of her friends these girls have gigantic followings, and they just it's just their currency. So they're like, oh, we're gonna fly here, we're gonna take a helicopter here, and my thing's always that shit's not free. I studied economics. Yeah. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You take a helicopter, somebody's sucking somebody's dick. Somebody's sucking.
I'm not sucking the dick.
But that's my point. Last night, she was invited.
Dicks are being sucked.
Tasha was invited.
Maybe somebody's sucking a dick, but I'm not sucking a dick. I'm just riding in a helicopter.
Somebody's sucking a dick. Tasha was invited to some girl's dinner last night, and there was apparently a dude was footing the bill. And I'm like, no, this isn't a thing that normal people do.
I don't know if a dude was footing the bill. I just know there was gonna be one dude there. So it was either that's the dude who's paying,
but it was a free dinner,
or at a really nice restaurant in LA.
Courtney, you must get this though, because as an actress, you must get directors, writers, people I want to put you in my thing, and then it's just not always what it's supposed to be. Have you had that non-professional where you didn't know at the time?
No.
You've never had a guy be like, I want to write with you, and then you get there. Oh
God, yeah. There's always a dick being sucked, not by me. But there is always a dick wanting to be sucked. Yes.
But it's interesting, being in this industry as a woman. Boy, we are on you guys don't you don't know what it feels like to be on the receiving end of that kind of gray area. Anytime somebody asks you for work lunch, you're like, is it work or is it?
Just remember that at your free Miami Airbnb. Remember that because you're I'm sorry, you're paying for the Airbnb, right?
Tina's paying for the Airbnb.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
She has so much money.
Are you paying for your flight?
Yeah, I'm paying for my flight.
Okay.
Barely.
There was almost a private jet.
See?
There was
But so
I need to meet your friends.
I met this girl, Tina Louise. Nice Australian, big fake tits.
Uh-huh. She's an Instagram model?
Yeah. A couple million follow that type of thing.
Is that her official title? She's I'm an Instagram model?
Pretty much. I mean, she's not super big. She's way cooler, a sleeve tattoo. She's cool. She's super
she's
sweet.
A really cool girl.
I don't know why that legitimizes somebody. I'm like, oh, she has tattoos? Okay, cool.
It's funny because it's technically the tattoos make you more fake, but it's in this case, it's more real.
That's That's so no.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
I gotta write a bit
like,
about that
because
that's yeah.
But it's like
no. That's just more shit you put in and onto your body. So we went. There was a birth. Her birthday month is this month apparently because for 3 weekends it's been this chick Tina Louise's birthday. That's what they did brunch. They did this. They did that. And I get the more followers.
Models get a month.
The more followers you have, the more birthday months you get. I think her
birthday's year round.
She's really just celebrating her late 30s at this point, or mid 30s, or whatever the age is. But she's super sweet. I really liked her, but I met her for the first time on Saturday, and that was my way of like screening her. I was like, I got to meet her. But it turns out I went to a bimbo barbecue. That's the only way to call it, is a bimbo barbecue. Not Tina Louise, but all these other chicks. They're all doing photo shoots. I look behind me, and there's a girl just Snapchatting her body.
No.
Yeah. It's interesting going to these type of places, and I'm not trying to shit on any Instagram models because everybody has to make money, and if that's an awesome way to do it.
Yeah.
Until you're valued, until you lose who you are.
Well, that's just social media in general. That's a different conversation. It's like, having like getting fucked up in the head because you're not getting enough likes or something. But it's funny when you put a bunch of those people in one room, because then it's suddenly the most antisocial party you've ever been to in your life, because they're all like on their phones, taking a picture, Snapchatting.
But what's worse than being a part of it is watching it and knowing what the behind the scenes are.
It's a little bit horrifying.
I caught the Snapchat story of their brunch, and I caught like someone who was like on the wider angle, because everyone's posting at the same time. So you could watch 10 different girls, which if there's ever like a crime committed, like the amount of fucking, Big Brother that we have, the government. So I'm watching 10 girls. They've got their mimosa in one hand and their Snapchat in the other, and they all clinking at the same time.
But
I'm like, I want to call in a bomb threat to this fucking place right now.
It's interesting though, because the cheers, like it's just everybody, all these people are about social media. All these people make money by having a presence every single day and having people who tune in every single day to see their story. So they feel like they can't miss a moment, right? So as soon as they're like, oh, we're doing a cheers, like everybody's like, oh, got to get it ready. And like everybody records the same thing. And like when the birthday cake comes out, this was hilarious, but they made the guy bring the cake out again. Because the people started singing, but nobody was ready with their phones because they didn't know that it was about to start singing.
Somebody needs to go in and be like an undercover,
just expose.
I'm being serious. Like expose. Just pick like a group like that. And
all right, we have Courtney going to Miami this week. Courtney's going to Miami.
But it's not, but I feel like that would happen sort of like anyway, like maybe the person who's throwing a surprise birthday party at somebody's house is like, okay, we're getting the cake out. Somebody,
one camera. But bros call each other out when that gets out of control. Like you put your phones on lock, you put them in the safe.
But how can you call out a group of girls who all make a living in this way? Like it's part of their job, so you can't hate them for it. It sounds ridiculous, but like it's part of it's part of how everybody makes their money.
I want to defend Tasha real quick, so you don't think she's like that. Like Tasha, when we started,
I'm
dating,
the only one in the background with my phone not out. I'm the only one who didn't post a story that day.
Yeah, but she had 0 followers. She was posting photos of flowers and bushes and shit. I'm like, Tasha,
that's what I'm into. I'm the forest fairy.
You go back far enough.
Michelle calls me the forest fairy. This is somebody that he knows that's also in the. She told me the other day. She was like, "That's your nickname, is forest fairy." And then yesterday I had a photo shoot and they like stuck me in the bushes, and I was like, "Yeah, I guess I am a forest fairy. I'm always just stuck in the flowers."
So she had 0 followers and all that. She was actually just working as a model, like doing the actual page jobs. But a lot of these girls, they don't cut it for like editorial or this or that. They just have an ass or whatever, and it's just like, I mean, in the end, if you're gonna be the quicker to fame, the quicker you crash.
Yeah.
Or the quicker you get more established, and the quicker, I don't know.
I mean, it's whatever it is, but at least you have your eggs in different baskets. Like you're doing different things, and you as well. So you've got acting, stand up, sketch, I'm assuming, and like so you doing like what's taking root right now? You can't talk about the thing you just shot, right?
I'm shooting it right now.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I can't talk about like what it's for, but it's a fun project.
Well, I like cryptic, like non-specific things.
I play a nun.
What?
I play a nun. Well, it's called Nuns with Guns.
Okay.
And I play a nun. It's based on a true story. And it's not a comedy. It's a drama. It's based on a true story.
It's like a World War II resistance kind of thing.
No.
Sister Courtney, nuns with guns at brunch, and then you sneak into brunch.
I play a lesbian nun.
What?
I think you have to be a lesbian nun.
Clearly. But it's actually based on this group of women that live in a convent, and they go underground. They go undercover as prostitutes to help smuggle out women that are being sex trafficked.
Wow.
And it's a band of, it's a sisterhood of nuns.
I feel like I read something about this?
There's like been some articles about, I mean, it's not just one group. There's a couple of them that are stories based on one group, but.
Wow. I read something a while ago, like, I don't know, an article I found on Facebook or something.
Is there like a sexy young priest?
No, there's not
like Father John
that's
again.
Been like the question that everybody asks, like, what's like the creepy guy doing?
No, because every guy assumes that there must be a male who's like the center of the story. It can't just be about heroic nuns.
Season 2, young Father John again.
No, but so I actually have a thing going on with like the woman that heads the group. We had like a secret love affair.
Oh, so did you have to kiss? Or
yeah, I did.
Spoiler. Okay. And
first time on camera with a woman.
First time on camera with a woman. First time.
No. Actually, my first time ever kissing a woman.
See, I could kiss a man on camera. I've come to that realization.
Yeah.
It would be a little awkward, but like that's where I am in my career. Where like, yeah, for the role, sure.
No,
man or woman, it's still smelly and it's not romantic at all. You've kissed guys on camera. Have you kissed women? Have you kissed guys on camera? You did that undercover thing where you had to kiss.
Yeah,
the guy.
I'm sure I did. I don't know. Oh yeah.
It's just, I mean, what's your preparation for that? Did you guys have like a talk about it beforehand?
No, like especially like when I'm on set, I'm maybe like a little bit annoying of just making everything a joke. So I mean, just
to cut the tension, just because it's like you're nervous or what?
No, not that I'm nervous. It's just like I guess that's like the most fun that I'm having is like when I'm working. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just a goof.
So you're a funny lesbian sister.
Yes,
the funny lesbian sister. Of course, they need one. You're the token funny girl, or is there any other?
No, I'm kind of the comic.
Now, have you worked more comedically or dramatically in the past? Because comics make pretty good dramatic actors.
Yeah,
they say.
Yeah. I mean, I consider myself a much better dramatic actress than comedy, which is
because on stage now when I saw you did a lot of family material. Mm-hmm. So like, and I can't remember I can't remember the specific bits, but like you found a lot of your humor through family. Is it like just mainly just analyzing relationships themselves?
Yeah, I think I've kind of been going down this road of like everything that I'm writing. It's like how can I make this a TV show? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like that's what we're writing for.
You want to be like the center of your own sitcom, or
Yeah,
so give me the quick elevator pitch. Like, is it autobiographical or?
Well, I mean, the stuff that I talk about right now and like what I'm writing is all based around my family, about like why we're all fucked up. Why, I mean, we started this episode talking about this.
Who would play your father? Because you need like a.
I need like
Lithgow's
a 6'5".
I was thinking like Jonathan Lithgow. Is that his name Jonathan Lithgow?
John
Lithgow?
Yeah.
But he's pretty old. But like you could have like an old dad. Like, is your dad normal age?
He's 63.
Okay, maybe you could have Lithgow.
Yeah.
I don't know why he came to mind. It's just because I'm imagining what type of father would make a daughter an Oscar. I'm trying to think who knows the trophy guy.
Yeah, no.
What does an Oscar cost to replicate?
I have no idea.
Gotta be a couple grand.
No, I don't think he spent that. I mean, I definitely don't come from money. He wouldn't have paid that.
I love that you're sharing a room with your sister, but you have your own gold trophy. And that's that's such like a LA thing too. It's like that. Like I'll starve, but as long as I have as long as
I have that award.
Yeah. Just I'll have no food for the week, but that iPhone came out, and I want that. Like it's just our priorities.
I know it's sad. Our priorities are messed up.
So your issue. So I'm not. Look, we obviously got on a giant tangent that that always relates back to me. I'm a magnet of my own personal issues. I get that, and I don't mind it, but I don't want you to feel like you came here as a therapist. But thank you. Let me know what your rate is. But have you, because West Coast does a lot of therapy, a lot of 12 steps. Have you ever done anything to like really like professionally figure out what makes you tick?
I've been in therapy since I was 4 or 5.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. So my sister was adopted.
Okay. Right. That's okay. Now you're spurring. I remember you talking about that.
I talk about that a lot in my stand-up. And so it was court mandated that everybody in our family.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think most of the sessions were supposed to be geared towards like some way talking about Tiffany or my sister, but I pretty much made them all about myself.
Well, you have to be
let's talk about me.
You have to have control of yourself. Like that's the sneaky thing is like the therapy for your sister. So you were 5 when your sister was adopted? When you family adopted
my
her?
sister came to live with us when I was 2. So she's really my cousin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't really talk about that element in my stand-up, but she's my cousin. She came to live with us when she was 2 years old, and I mean, she's always been my sister.
And were you the oldest?
No, I'm the baby.
You were the baby, and then there was a younger one. So did you feel that's
No. My sister's older than me.
Oh, okay.
I am the baby.
So you're just standard baby. You're
standard baby.
That explains. So that's the trophy.
Baby.
They've solved. So did your older siblings lose any sort of like? How does that work? Because I was the baby. My sister's only a year older than me, so the dynamic wasn't like a 5. Like Tasha's a couple years older than her sister, so I feel like you had more of a physical older sister vibe than like I grew up with. Like, what's the age difference between you and your oldest sibling?
My oldest is 3 years, 3.5 years.
Oh, okay, that's very close then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Older brother, and then my sister. My sister and I are only 11 months apart, though.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we had a very physical hairbrushes, like drag out, like my mom trying to get in the middle and like getting bit or like hit, like dogs.
Yeah, you don't get in the way of a fight. You're gonna get like a hot curling iron.
I'm not kidding.
To the
like
head.
one time, my mom took a hose and was literally spraying us, and we would not get off of each other.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Have you had Tasha? You've had fist fights with your sister.
Oh yeah.
Is it usually one punch and done, or is it like?
It's normally like until something breaks, and then we both feel really guilty and like.
Yeah.
So it's like
and then we're like, oh, we're gonna get in so much trouble. Yeah.
It's so funny. I'd never had any fighting like that.
No?
There'd be a push or something, but there would never. I had a sister. Like I'm not gonna beat her up.
Oh, yeah.
I think that makes a difference.
But so like you literally just roll around till a vase kicks over. Like you never had Jeannie spray you down with a cold one?
No, we never got sprayed down. I feel like most of our fighting we did when like my parents weren't home. I don't feel like we ever like got in like, I don't know. I feel like we probably would have been afraid to get in like a rough house kind of fight if parents were around, because we would have gotten in massive trouble. So it probably, if we were fighting, we just like went to our rooms and like didn't talk to the other one. I don't know.
But now, how about as an adult? So do you guys ever fight anymore? I mean, there's must be such crazy sibling competitiveness.
No. We're extremely close.
So the therapy worked.
Yeah. Therapy worked. Well, I mean, we had years where, I mean, that's
I feel like once you get older, like your siblings become your support system. Like that's what they say is like your siblings are the people who you call for the rest of your life when you have a problem. When you're younger, you are establishing dominance. I mean, you are like dogs. Like you hate each other when you're younger. Or like your age difference seems like so much. You know, like my sister and I are only 3 years apart, but I think 4 in school. So once we got out of elementary school, I never saw her in school again. But yeah, I felt so much older than her, even though we're only 3 years apart. Yeah. I feel like as you get older, like you feel closer, you act closer.
At what age did you have that first like heart to heart? Did it involve like what age? Where were you when you first had like a beer with your sibling? That's always a big one when you first have like
junior high.
That's
horrendous. Yeah, no.
Who drank first? You or your sister?
Well, no, my brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was in high school,
and he was like, "Here you go, kid."
Yeah,
he just slid you.
No,
What
he
did you drink?
took us to a party, or like I saw him at a party, and he was like, "There you go." I don't think he actually. No, that paints a horrible picture for Clint. He probably we just drank together.
No, that's normal. I mean, but that's normal that like you like I wish I was scared of alcohol, so like I always like would tell on my sister if I caught her drinking or something. I remember I was like very emotional.
I have no idea why that's funny, but it's really cute.
I know. I was a real straight edge.
Well, how old were you when you started drinking?
29. No, I was probably 16.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's not that late.
But it kind of, I kind of had someone gave me like a real shitty beer at a party, and then I went home with my buddy.
Like a Natty Ice?
At best. Like that would be like it was like a Schlitz or something, just really, and warm, just there was no, like, here kid, take it. And I went home and I was so worried about being like drunk that I had like a few like pieces of dry bread. Because they were like, you gotta eat. They're like, you gotta eat the bread, and it soaks up all the alcohol. And so I'm just eating dry bread. Like it was like I could have.
And you learn later that makes you more intoxicated, right?
I have no idea, but yeah,
that actually, it does. It raises your blood alcohol level. Like if you blow, you're higher if having eaten bread than if you didn't eat bread.
It soaks the alcohol in.
Something about the yeast or something.
So there I was, just getting liquored up with. Wheat bread, nice. No, I don't know. So like my sister in college, it was probably the first time we actually drank together. And by that point, I mean, I'm not saying either one of us had a drinking problem, but like, I mean, it's nice. It's a good way to.
You did.
Well, here's the thing. Most of my issues, usually, I'm not admitting fault. So like, I think my sister I think I can handle my alcohol better than my sister. I don't drink much, but I don't know. I mean, Tasha, you've seen both of us. Sometimes she gets a little glossy-eyed. She's got 3 kids now, so if she has a glass of wine, she's like,
I'm going to say when she lets loose, she wants to go hard.
Yeah.
Like now that she's a mom, and she probably doesn't get many days to just have a glass of wine or like to really let go.
Some people you can see it. Like she'll have like a saggy eye and like, you know what I mean? Like, some people you can see, and I'm not saying she's an alcoholic. You can just see like, oh, alcohol kind of like masks some things. But like my sister and I always had that growing up where I honestly, when we went to therapy, just like I was like a 6-7-year-old, we went to this like the Newport Hospital in Rhode Island. I guess that's where the therapist was.
Your whole family went to therapy?
It was just my mom and my sister at that point. I had no dad in my life. My mom wasn't remarried. None of my younger brothers were born. So my sister was like angry. She was like, like always on eggshells when we were kids. My mom wouldn't like, there was a very like stern sort of upbringing, and I was kind of like the, hey, let's have fun younger brother. So all I would do at therapy was go play video games. They wouldn't therapy me.
You were just in the waiting room.
Yeah, I would play like Nintendo. You're blowing
Little
the game.
did they know you were the one that really needed it.
Right? Damn, if we could go back in time and just sit you in the chair for a few minutes, I feel like I wouldn't have that many issues in my life right
I was just playing video games. Like, I'll take this out in 29 years. I
missed opportunity there.
I think we mentioned this last episode, everyone's got issues. If you talk about them, you're the normal one. I mean, really, the normal thing is to just like share how fucked up you are. The people that are like, well, I'm perfectly fine. It's like you've got skeletons in your closet. You know what
yes,
I mean?
I know.
So like you come from the West Coast. You've done therapy your whole life. Like, do you know? Like, so you're single. Mm-hmm. And if you were to meet a guy, do you know what sort of like safety steps you would need to take like say you like the guy a lot? Mm-hmm. What do you do to not fuck that up?
Well, first I make sure that he's not a comedian.
Perfect.
Step one.
Fuck that one up a bunch. No. It's just comics, dating you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
One's hard enough.
Yeah, one's hard enough. And also, well, no, I shouldn't say that.
How about actors, though?
I was just going to say not
actors have to be worse than comics.
But see, right now I'm at a weird place with that because now, like, so I'm recently on Bumble.
Ooh, nice.
No, I'm embarrassed to say that, but I'm working on just admitting all of my truths.
Join the club.
The skeletons out.
What's wrong with Bumble? What's wrong with that? Is it dating?
You know what? It's an ego thing. That's what it is.
Because you enjoy the fact, but you have to be the one who talks to the guys first.
No, and when I say ego thing, the fact that like I have to be on Bumble, right?
Oh, okay.
Or admitting that, like, yeah, I'm.
But
on
that's the way the world is now.
It
like,
is.
I feel like you would be out at a bar and like a guy would be like looking for you on Bumble, or like like
that is exactly
would not have the balls to walk up to you because it's just.
But
like,
he'll send me a message.
Yeah.
But what a great opportunity for men to grow the fuck up and talk to girls, right? So you're saying good men aren't approaching in public, or you're not finding the right ones. It's because the guys, it's like, take the laziness that, like, we put ourselves in this issue where like no one knows how to talk in person or break the ice.
Well, because it's uncomfortable. It's the same reason why nobody like calls anybody on the phone anymore. Now we can just text it or send an email. So like you don't want to have
anything you don't want to say, just text
my
it.
agency calls me, I'm afraid to pick up the phone. Like I wait for them to leave me a message so that I can screen what it is that they want, and then I'll like either call them back if it's going to be a real easy conversation or send an email. Like, it's but we're all guilty of it. But that's what I'm saying is like it's not just about who we're trying to fuck. It's everyday life. Like we don't even like nobody calls anybody for any reason anymore. When my phone rings, it gives me severe anxiety. So like it's just that's the way the world
Courtney,
is. So
will
like,
you call Tasha and help her with this issue?
I'm definitely not to that, but I screen calls.
Yeah,
it's literally like
everybody does it.
And my first thought is like, why are you calling me?
What do you
know what I mean?
What do you
yeah,
need?
like this, and like, do I have time now? Because if you're calling me, this is going to take a chunk out of my day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just send a message or text.
Yeah.
That's what the LA traffic's for. You get your phone calls in when you're just stuck in traffic.
Yeah, that's when I call my family.
Yeah.
But the point is that it takes like the uncomfortability out of it. Like it takes the rejection out of it.
The online dating.
The online.
Yeah.
So like instead of, if a guy walks up to you at a bar, you might blow him off. You might laugh in his face. I don't know. It might just be awkward. And nobody wants to have to go through those sort of uncomfortable feelings.
Definitely.
And now that like everybody's doing online dating, nobody wants to. It's like now that we all text message, nobody wants to make a phone call. It's the same thing.
Well, you know what's funny is that when I first got on Bumble, I was literally like, oh my God, every other person was a comedian.
Yeah.
Literally everybody's on it. And even people that I know are in relationships. I'm like, well, you've been dating somebody for a couple years. Don't know what you're... Yes.
But
Call them out. Who is it?
A comic on Tinder.
They're actually friends.
if you did like Conan, right, and that's your Tinder photo, you're going to get laid more as a guy. So you might not like it because you know what's behind that curtain. You're like, oh, this scumbag. Yeah. But he's scoring these UCLA chicks. I'm telling you, like, there's you use what you have. So you're a photographer. Maybe you're a rich guy hiring chicks to go to Miami. Whatever it is, that's what you use.
But you know what? Yeah. What's crazy about that idea is that one of my pictures, my last picture. Well, I mean, it says that I'm a comedian, on like your little blurb or whatever. But my last picture is me on stage, and pretty much every guy that I talk to or message with is like, I didn't know whether to swipe because you're a comedian. Like that's a turn off.
I'm sure they're just trying to neg you in a way. I'm sure.
No, guys don't like it.
So do guys not like seeing the fact that you're like funny and doing your own thing?
Maybe it's the same reason why like we're afraid to date actors. There's like a narcissism thing to it.
Oh, yes.
Right? Like that's what like if I was single, I'd be like, no actors, no comics. Like,
yeah, well, no, and you asked me about the actor thing. I'm in like a weird place right now because the guys that I have gone out with, that's how we got into Bumble. The guys that I've gone out with from Bumble, like that aren't in the business, that aren't actors or aren't comedians, it's literally like I don't...
Do they have their shit together more?
They have their shit together, which is intimidating. But they just have a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
That like...
They don't get yours.
Yeah, they're literally like, why... So you're choosing to be out until 2 and 3 in the morning, like
every single night.
Why? Yeah. And it's so it's not relatable. And then it's then.
So you want a guy that has similar like lifestyle, but not stand up. Like you it seems like you need a guy. I'm not saying you need anybody, right?
I do.
You've got your sisterhood here.
No.
You've got but like it's important. I mean, for Tasha, like she doesn't have a 9 to 5, but she never works at night. So for me, it's always like fuck.
But I just understand it. You could potentially date someone with a normal job who just understands your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, and that this is part of your. Who's just like understanding of like.
But most guys won't. Most guys have a normal job, their free time is going to be 7 to 9. It's going to be like her sweet spot to be on stage. His normal time is the time that you're going to be doing your song and dance.
That's exactly what I ran into of like literally being like, can you hang out on Wednesday? And I'm like, oh, not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is like give up your passions and your independence and be like,
you miss a show for like you can't because you're not you cannot
that's
give
a
up your
recipe
stage
for disaster.
time. Sometimes I'll maybe turn down something if I know it's a shit gig. But honestly, not even shit gigs. It's like you never know what you're gonna get. You never know. I did a show last night in the basement of a condo, and it was like a theater that's set up inside of like a performance space. And I get there, only white guy. I don't think I've ever been. I'm talking only white guy in a sea of other people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was going to not show up, not having no idea that was the case. I was going to not show up because I was like exhausted, worked all day. And I'm like, I'm so fucking glad I took this gig because I'm the guy who everyone's making fun of. I'm making fun of them. We're all going back and forth. And it was like different. Like, I mean, if people don't understand what I'm talking about, straight white guys, that's all comics are straight white guys. I mean, we're 90% of the market. So for me to be like the guy who's like, oh, I'm gonna make fun of this. You know what I mean? To like be the guy who gets to make fun of.
You were in the limelight. That's why you like it.
Oh, I loved it. I made fun of this one guy. I made fun of this one dude's like shirt. He only had one button buttoned on his shirt, and I call him Benjamin No Buttons. and it was so stupid, but that they got up and started hitting them and running around. They fucking loved it. They loved that there was just this cool. I don't know why I brought it back about me, but it's we got it.
It's a recurring theme on this podcast.
I'm trying to catch myself. We need that stage time. We need it's hard enough as it is. So what? Yeah. So it's like if you can find a creative person that will. I mean, would you like at what stage do you invite a guy to a show?
That's totally about the person. I was hanging out with this guy for like 3 months. I'm not gonna say his name. His name's Paul. Total douche. He like that after like our second date, he like wanted to a second date. Like we hadn't even slept together, and he wanted to come see. But that's kind of funny. To me, I like coming and watching a show is more personal to me than sleeping. Yeah. Like I would rather sleep with you than have you like come.
Well, sex, you have a general idea what you're gonna get. Yeah, sex, you're like, oh, that's the vagina. We got that.
But like you know, a lot of your comedy, I'm assuming, comes from truth, and so it's like it's a vulnerable place.
Yeah. And and it's also
you don't want to bomb. I'm like, I don't know.
No, that I'm not. I think I'm like past that point. Like I could care. Not that I could care less. Like you always want to do well, but like. It's more about like letting somebody in my world. Like that's like such a.
Because then if you invite them to the first show, maybe they'll think it's like an open invite to every show.
Oh yeah, which
there's plenty
is
of
also
shows that it's like you don't need to see this.
Yeah,
this is gonna get ugly.
Like I have a major separation with that. Like people that I've dated in the past, it's like that's my world.
So
stay home.
So what's you stay home and wait for me, bitch. What's a current? Do you have any themes that you can like? Whittle down from past relationships that you're noticing, things that guys are doing wrong, or things that like you're finding the wrong person? Because I feel like you can sort of find this average of issues or
completely the wrong person. People that like aren't in a good place to be in a relationship. That's who I'm like, oh, you're not ready to be in a relationship? I'd love to start one.
Let me begin to fix you now.
Yes. No. Yeah. Dating people with bigger problems.
Do you think that means that you're like unconsciously not ready for a relationship? So you're attracting people who aren't ready for a relationship?
Oh, that's what I talk about with my therapist right now. And I'm actually talking about this on stage right now.
She called us and asked us to clarify a few issues. Teresa. Heather. We got you, Heather.
That's exactly what it is. It's like it's almost like a form of like self-sabotage.
Absolutely. We all do it in different ways.
Is it self-sabotage or are you just not wanting the commitment because you know you're going to let them down because you're working so hard on yourself?
Because this might get like a little philosophical on you, but
we love it.
I have this conversation often with like other artists, mostly with actors, but like my first love in life and my first relationship in life is to my art, is to my craft. And that's the most important relationship in my life and probably the most important relationship I'll ever have. And so even if I got any relationship I've been in, if I really sat down and was like, what is the most important? That person comes second. You know,
yeah,
but that should be fair. People don't want to hear that.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it. Yeah.
Who are you if you don't have your creative expression? Who are you?
Right.
Like, you're just going to be some resentful wife if you don't.
But I feel like not everybody is on that. Not everybody has that artistic.
Yeah, and maybe not everyone has that passion. So many people just they find a job that suits them and they decide that that's okay for forever and that's fine. And they don't have like
that most of those people have some secret passion they wish they did in their life, and that's sad. And like I got fired from my business like when I right out of college that let me get into this. Like I was going down some different path because I thought that's what you're supposed to do, and a lot of people do. And then
but on the flip side, it's it doesn't have to be one or the other. Like it's really but that requires a lot of work because it's a balancing act and it requires some sacrifice and maybe trying it this way and trying it that way. Like there is a balance to be had where you still like keep your passions and you pursue your passions, but also I think one of those things why you don't want to jump right into a relationship is because that will stir it up.
Yeah,
right.
It'll like take me away from.
You have to go through the process of like figuring out like, oh, I might need to sacrifice this or whatever. And relationships require a lot of hard work and sacrifice. So it's like, I sort of want this, but actually I kind of like the way I'm doing it now. So
there has to be, and I have faith that I will find it. This is somebody who understands that balance and who doesn't take that personally. You know what I mean?
Actually, like, in a way, makes you better for what you are. Like not to say you need someone else to make you better, but a good relationship, the other person should sort of
lift each other up.
Yeah,
what you do and and just support that in a simple way. But you don't always need it. Like if you're so independent, you don't need someone else. That like maybe guys have a hard time because they don't feel like they need to do anything with you. Like guys need to feel loved. Like I need to feel like Tasha needs me.
Right.
Even on a little level.
I hand you all the jars. I hand them all the coconut oil jars.
They're slippery. They're real slippery. I've put together a few IKEA pieces of furniture, and I've done a few. But she's also super independent too, so it's like I don't know what you want me to do. Like you've got it. Like I came into her universe where she was all set. But we're finding like weird sort of like things unearthing like that we have to deal with, and we like therapy would be very good for us individually, but like we still haven't exactly pulled the trigger. Heather, are you listening? Do you have a sliding scale?
Call us, please.
Because it's like I don't like the beauty of a relationship is that it unearths all of the crutches that we leaned on and kind of kicks them out from underneath us. Like all of the things that I just did and like I know what goes on in my head. I can live alone and I can live with roommates, but living with a girlfriend, there has been issues. Like there has been just
How long have you guys been living together?
2+ years, yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, we've figured out a lot of the things early on that you might be like, fuck you, you slob, you whatever, this and that, and then we're kind of like. It's finding that way to respect each other, but it all comes down to the book that really takes the cake is the love languages. I mean that really comes down
what
to
is it?
Is it the 5 love languages or the 4?
5.
See, I haven't finished reading it, so
he's only gotten to 4.
I got to the first one. I was like, affirmations done. I need you to affirm, but it tells you like it's not about what. Like I know what makes me happy, but that's not necessarily what makes Tasha happy. Yeah. So I show her a lot of like acts of a lot of giving.
Wait, does this book talk about like the different ways that people love?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best. Well, it's like love languages. So some people, just the way that you understand and really feel love. So like he needs compliments, right? Affirmations. He needs to hear that he's doing a good job.
See how she said it? Like he needs compliments. It's a love language. It gets 20%. It gets its full.
All the compliments.
But like that's what's most important to him. Like me cooking him a meal or like
because
showing
that
up.
starts as like from childhood, right?
Sure.
Like how you're.
He didn't get enough compliments.
No, but honestly, I mean, I take it back. Like I did get
something you can control. Like,
I did get a lot when it was there. Like I don't hold any grudges or anything. It's just that's what I need. I'm a comic. I need instant laughter on stage. I can't tell a long story because of the pay. I need the payoffs. I need to know.
But what are mine?
Tasha needs quality time. She needs a lot of like time, and I don't need quality time. Go to Miami. Bye.
Except that he was like being snarky, like all sour about it 5 minutes ago, and you saw that.
No, I want you to go. It's just I want you to know that like give me some credit that I'm cool with you going. So she wanted me to take her to the airport tomorrow. Her flight's at 6 a.m. I said, go fuck yourself. We've been dating long enough. I can throw her a 20 and be like, here's some Venmo. Like, bye. I'm not taking her to the airport at 6. I could see maybe 9 or 10 a.m. because then I could. But like, then what am I? Anyway, so good luck. Enjoy your trip. But yeah, it's you learn what the other person needs, and you go, look, if Tasha needs me to build a brick wall every day, I'll build the brick wall. Like I'll do it.
It's just understanding what speaks best to the other person, because he can give me all the compliments I want, but if I don't feel love, if I don't receive love from compliments, then it's wasted effort. So it's about learning to talk to each other in a language that you understand.
Do you have can you think of...
My mind's been... Wait, so it's compliments. There's also physical...
You want me to read them?
No idea.
I'll read them real quick.
I've never read the book.
Oh, you haven't?
No. It's in the closet probably. No, I haven't read the book.
I thought like you gave him the book or something.
No, he probably ordered it on Amazon. I ordered us one last week called like Why Good People Do Bad Things. It's written by a doctor who's like studied Carl Jung, and so it's sort of I listened to a podcast and he was on there and he was talking about his book, and it's sort of like why. Like those, like he calls them like shadow. It's like our shadow self, like the stuff that's deep inside of you that maybe is not your best self. So for me, it's like road rage or like whatever, just like, why does that random ass person, because I consider myself a good person, but why does that like evil guy come out every once in a while? So it's about sort of addressing. I bought him that book, but I'm not big into self-help books.
You see that she bought me that book. Here, Dave, read it.
Figure out what's going on with your shadow self.
We had this Julianne, can't think of her last name, an author on the podcast, and she wrote a book called Spelling It Out for Your Man. And I'm literally like reading the book, and I'm going through it, and I was like, "Oh, Tasha, this is you." Like this is, and she took the book and threw it at me, and that's when I was like, "Thank you for the soft cover version of the book she gave me." So like, you got to read different things and know what works. And I don't have the books in my car, but yeah. So like, I got to affirmations, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like I want people. Like, it sounds so pathetic, but it's like, it's simple. So, and I don't want fake affirmations. I just, long day, like, come home, have a good set, something exhausted. I want her to be like, damn, baby, like, worked hard, like, you're doing it. Like, so I screen grab if she sends me shit like that, because and I'm not criticizing you, Tasha, but it was very rare to get, like, I was like, what the fuck do I have to do to get this chick? I just crushed, or, it sounds so stupid telling a comic you crushed, but, like, you have a good set, right? And then afterwards... You want to stick around the club just so like some strangers can be like, "Hey, good stuff, man," and you just want that. I know I sound. The more I say it, the more pathetic I sound. But that's
not
literally all we work for is a couple compliments. Just throw me a compliment, and then afterwards.
But see, on the drive home, she was rubbing your back, and she thought that was telling you that you did a great job.
Right.
Thank you.
And it's just sign language. It's off a little bit.
But now you guys know.
Now I know that he needs compliments.
There. But there's still moments when you're in like in the warfare where like company's coming over, or she's late so we're going to a brunch or some stupid thing that like heightens the situation. Shoes are out. Something's very similar. When we're in those heightened situations, that's when you need to be like, okay, we need to really gear down about the good. Yeah,
just trying to pay attention. I think that's the hardest thing is when it's not your natural language. Like for me, it's not my natural language to be like saying it nice and sweet. Like that's just not my normal style.
Say it without looking like that. try to think that like it's a normal thing that a guy wants to become.
But like it's when that's not your nature. It's hard in those heated, heightened situations for that to be your first response. And so that's where we run into problems, and I'm sure that's completely normal. Yeah. But it's like, remembering. It takes extra work and extra effort.
Were your parents giving you affirmations?
I've never gotten a compliment in my goddamn life. No, my parents do not give compliments or hugs.
Okay, well, let's turn the date. Like, so No hugs or compliments.
No.
Gosh,
so I have to deal with a girl who's never been hugged or ever had a compliment.
My dad walked in here, he'd be hugging you the whole time, just squeezing your shoulder.
Do you have any Emmy awards you can give her or something? Can we knock her off a People's Choice or
I got
something?
a lot of trophies.
Send your People's Choice Awards to Tasha Courtney, please. I think we're at an hour, so we'll start getting out of here. But where can people find everything they want to find about you?
Well, I'm not an Instagram model, but I do model with my dog often. Instagram, Courtney Scheurerman, Scheurerman, and Twitter at Court Scheurerman, same spelling. And that's it. I just Twitter and Instagram. That's my jam.
That's it. That's all you need.
Yep.
You don't do the Facebook fan page?
Nope. No, don't do that.
No.
Oh, wait. No, I have a Facebook fan page.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because we're
Scheurerman.
not friends on Facebook because you hit the friend limit.
I did. Yeah. You know
Which is great because it makes me have to. It automatically makes me have to follow you. So what I did today, I was at 49, 75. I added all these randoms I never confirmed before to bump myself up to 5,000. Now, if anyone wants to friend me, they have to follow me.
No, you don't want to. I need to. When I need to put on a movie. I don't know why I'm saying I have to put on my, but I have to sit down one day and just go through and unfollow.
You got to watch some HGTV, some good background TV.
Yeah, something where I can just zone out and just unfriend because I don't know how I have 5,000. I don't have 5,000.
That's the thing. It's and I'm obsessive about privacy. It's just it's a thing for me, and I unfriend and unfollow people all day long. I'm I have no idea why you're my friend. I don't know who you are. I probably randomly added this person in college. You know, when you're a freshman in college and you're I'm gonna add everyone that goes to my school. Well, no, and you don't even know who these people are. You had one class with them. You'll never see them again in your life. I'm bye-bye.
No, those people, if we've had a class together, you can remain my friend. But these are probably people from just doing shows around the country that I've added and accepted, and now they can go to the fan page.
Yeah, we live in the world where you need to bring an audience if you're going to do a show in Dayton, Ohio.
Even unfriending somebody, if they message me and are why'd you unfriend? I'd accept their friend.
Who notices that? That's crazy.
People have apps for this shit.
Yeah,
people have apps. There's a couple comics. Have you had this experience where you unfollow them on Instagram or Twitter, and a couple hours later they send you a message? Why'd you unfollow me?
Eesh.
And it's literally how did you know?
I know that exists.
And why? And even a bigger question, who has the courage to message
I won't
somebody?
do that. I live in a blissful world. I don't need to know who's unfollowing me.
I wouldn't want to.
This is why I don't need to know who your exes are.
There you go.
It's the same thing. I just don't need to know.
But I know all of yours. They're at the dog sitter now. So that's fine. They own half of our furniture now. We've sold them our furniture.
And he's listening right now.
Yeah, please subscribe there if you're listening. Rate and review. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Tasha Courtney, at Tasha Courtney on Instagram.
At Tasha Courtney, Instagram, Twitter, Tasha TV on Snapchat. Don't send me dick pics, but you can send me nice messages. I like those.
How about this? Send her dick pics, but then people send me tit pics. Is that a good thing? Then we can swap and
What's
share.
Wrong with
no,
you?
Maybe not. Send your dicks and your tits. I'm at DNealz, DNEALZ, and then the Sex Actually page is at Sex Actually Pod. We'll take an Instagram. We'll take a selfie or something for that, so we have a photo, so you guys can check out Courtney. And you don't have a podcast or anything?
I don't.
You got to get on that.
Yeah, I know. But actually, I feel like I'm the unique one not having one.
Yeah, the only one who doesn't have one.
Yeah.
You don't need all the stress. You can just be on everyone else's and be special and be the guest of honor and not have to deal with all the bullshit that comes with it.
Yeah.
All right, you're invited anytime. Bring the dogs over too.
Awesome.
Were they friendly with other dogs?
Yeah.
Boone's a friendly guy, but other dogs really snap at him. Oh, really? He causes anger in others.
I think he's just big and clumsy.
I think they're jealous of his long body.
Right? They're you have a supermodel body.
You can follow him on Instagram.
That long torso.
Boone the Basset. He's got his own Instagram. Do your dogs have an Instagram?
No.
We don't treat it like a thing.
No, but every once in a while we get a real cute photo of him and we put it on there.
It is adorable. Cute though when you think of unfortunately with dogs, he's 8 years old and you think it'll be great that you've got this whole track period of your animal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mean to make that sound sad. It's a happy thing.
When he dies.
All dogs go to heaven,
Jeez,
Tasha.
babe.
All dogs go to heaven, and
he's that's the real motive why he's doing it. You're I just thought it was cute.
Oh no, he's the best, and but we live in this apartment, and I just want to get a backyard for him. I just want this dog to...
I have a front yard back in town. I'm meaning to brag. Yeah,
that's so nice.
Have a yard.
The dog's got like a mini MTV movie award. He's got
that I made for it. Yes, absolutely.
It's made out of dog treats. He's eating it. Okay, well, we got to get out of here. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone, go check out all of Courtney's stuff, and Tasha over here as well. Go follow them. We love getting messages from people, so keep sharing the love. You guys have been great out there. I'm Dave. Bye, everybody.
Bye.